Hi, Pat Dougherty here at the wonderful Lateral Tennis Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Today we want to talk about the value of working on lateral movement. What I see happen with a lot of the kids around the academy and elsewhere at tournaments is that when they try to run down a ball in the corners, they're really just turning and sprinting. Not much different than if I was running towards the net here. The impact of that is, a lot of times when you finally get to the ball, the feet are pointing this way, the body can be stuck pointing this way a little bit, the lower body. Tendency to close off is much greater. Moving laterally has a lot to do with like defending in basketball, defending in soccer, where you want to square up and align your body to the opponent. Consider the ball what you're aligning to. If the ball's over there, you want to avoid getting past perpendicular with the hips, where the hips are now, in this situation, facing the back fence. They don't have to be perfectly square to the net, but as they're moving across, whenever possible, they're trying to stay aligned and they turn those hips right towards the contact point to hit. Now granted, sprinting is faster than lateral movement. The slowest way to get out to a ball is to shuffle. It squares your body, eliminates the value of momentum leaning into your movement, where crossover gives you the opportunity to create that upper body lean and cover more ground. So we like to see the crossover footwork when you move laterally, not so much shuffling, but still, like I said, sprinting is faster, and in some situations you may not get there leaning and crossing over, so players will turn and sprint. However, the top players realize that when they're turned this way, they're not really aligned well for contact, so you'll see them make a purposeful move as they load into the hitting box where the hip turns and realigns with the contact point. Very important little move they're doing there. Now, when you start coming in better with lateral movement, you're going to see more natural built-in recoveries to get you back quicker. You'll have the options to come out of this open stance here with a load and lunge power transfer if you need it, or even a transfer forward, or be able to just go into the conventional neutral stance and hit. That's the forehand corner. The backhand corner is a much bigger issue in today's game. Most players are not closing off their forehands anymore. The two-handed backhands, it's still a big issue. When you get over into this corner here and you take that shoulder turn to get the racket back, body turns away, a lot of players are ending up hitting from here. Not too many good things can happen from this stance. We've got a limited shot selection. The highest percentage shot from where I am in the court, majority of the time is going to be cross court. For most players with their grips the way they are on the two-handed backhand, that's going to be the most difficult shot for them to execute. Now look at the loss of balance that I have here. My momentum's falling back towards the back corner. I'm not in a good situation at all to either go to the net or recover back to center. So I'm going to lose time as I pull out of this position and start moving again. We define forced errors as when time and or balance has been compromised. That's what just happened here. So when you're easy to close off, you're easy to force into errors in the corners. What we want to try to do, understanding statistics, is make sure the forced errors are falling on the opponent's side of the net a lot more than happening to you. So if you want to become a better player on the tennis court, become more resistant to getting forced. And it all starts with good lateral movement. Again, coming out of the center, if my hips stay more aligned and I don't let them turn away, I'm going to load that left foot into the box here and have all the options I had on the forehand side. The way I explain it to a lot of the players I work with, if you ask them what's the powering source in the stroke for you over here, is it the bottom arm or the top arm? In the majority of grip sets, they're going to say it's the top arm. The left arm is the driving force of their two-handed backhand. That's when I say to them, if that's the case, shouldn't you be giving your left-handed forehand, which is their two-handed backhand, shouldn't you be giving that left-handed forehand the same footwork setup you give your right-handed forehand in the other corner? Then it puts it into context that they really need to be able to move in and get those situations set up identically to the forehand side. So again, paying attention to your movement on the way to the ball, I focus more on the hip alignment to the net, trying to get across as quickly as possible this way, crossing over and breaking into shuffles through the center if we need to, and moving with the hips facing this way and aligning to the contact point here. The use of shuffle steps are fine when you don't have much distance to go. Use the crossovers whenever you can to cover more ground. You just don't want to get caught having to react to the opponent's shot with your feet in a crossover move. That's the only problem that you could run into there. Spend more time mastering the lateral movement. Become a movement specialist. It's an art form. Just like Michael Jackson, there's good dancers, then there's Michael Jackson. There's good movers on the court, then there's Davydenko, Federer, Nadal. You've got to challenge yourself to take it to that highest level. Smooth, fluid, effortless, difficult to break down into errors. Good luck, work on it hard.